How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to the Baseball Center. Holy fucking shit. How about that money for Shohei Ohtani? 10 years, $700 million. By a long shot, the largest contract ever signed in the history of American sports. If you didn't know anything about baseball or the Dodgers organization, you'd have thought that he was signed to play for Saudi Arabia with a contract like that. First of all, let's talk about this contract itself because it's a very unique contract. 10 years, $700 million. At first, we all thought that would mean that the Dodgers would be paying this guy $70 million a year, which would make Ohtani the highest paid player per season ever by about $30 million, which is insane. However, the Dodgers already have Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and everybody else on the payroll. And with all of those guys, they would be way too far above the luxury tax for them to be able to handle. And the team would lose an insane amount of money. As it stands currently, the Dodgers will be paying well over $200 million in luxury tax in 2024. If they were to add $70 million to it, the luxury tax effects would be devastating. To prevent this, the Dodgers and Ohtani cooked up a very unique contract. How it works is that Ohtani will receive $2 million per year for the entire length of the contract, 10 years. He'll only be making $2 million per year. Then, after the 2034 season, Ohtani is going to receive $680 million all at once. When I heard that this is how the contract was going to work, I was shocked because, we've seen deferred payments in contracts before, but nothing to this extent or with this much money. I thought this was crazy. This means that the Dodgers are going to have $680 million on hand in 10 years, or Ohtani is just going to sue the organization. Now, while the Dodgers agreed to a contract like this in order to escape a luxury tax, their loophole is not going to work out as easily as they might have thought. So Otani's only going to be making $2 million a year, but the MLB luxury tax is going to recognize him as making $46 million a year. I'm not sure why they settled on that number, but that's what they settled on. So the luxury tax is going to affect the Dodgers as if Ohtani were making $46 million every season. It's still a lot better than if he were making 70 million, but it's way worse than if they were recognizing him as making $2 million, which he is. So by now you understand that the Los Angeles Dodgers are made of money. They're basically the New York Yankees of the West Coast. By the way, people always give the Yankees shit for signing all these good players in free agencies, but the Dodgers have been doing it way more in recent times. Now, the question of will the Dodgers be good is easy to answer. Yes, they were already good, and they've been good for like 20 years now. They haven't had a below 500 season since 2010, where they only went 80 and 82, and were in the playoffs for 3 years before that. Now, if you add the best player on the face of the planet by far to their already Avengers roster, of course they're going to be very good. The question that actually matters is, will the Dodgers win anything now that they have Ohtani? To which the answer is more complicated. When we're talking about World Series, the Dodgers are in a weird spot because they're an organization that has been so good in the regular season for so long, yet have very little to show for it. They spent 20 years being above average, making the playoffs more often than not, and the only World Series championship they have to show for it is from 2020, where there was a shortened 60-game season and there were no fans in attendance at any of the games. While, yes, you could make the argument that the World Series counts because whether or not it was a shortened season, it was a shortened season for everybody, so it was fair. But considering that the Dodgers are a powerhouse in the MLB and the only World Series that they have to show for it this century is from a 60-game season, the World Series champions badge doesn't have as much meaning to me or to a lot of other people. I think it's entirely possible for the Dodgers to win a World Series championship while he's with the Dodgers. Who's going to argue with that? The issue isn't about the possibility. The issue is about whether or not they actually will win. The issue is with the mentality of this team itself. The issue with dominating the regular season is that if you clinch a playoff spot in early September, you have an entire month of meaningless games where you just have to show up, play, waste your pitching, tire out your position players until the postseason finally comes, and you wait another week of playing no games at all while you wait for the wild card series to finish. Finally, when it is time to play, you're thrown into the action. You're not mentally ready to play important games, And you're going against a team who just won a playoff series and is fired up and prepared to play. There's no better example of this than the 2022 NL Divisional Series, where the Braves, who conquered the NL all regular season, suddenly had to play an 89-win Phillies team who had been fighting for their playoff lives all September and had been mentally in playoff mode for a while. That's why the Braves weren't ready to play them, and they lost in 4 games. It was a total upset. Being too good in the regular season is not the Dodgers' only problem. The Dodgers lack a real fan base. I don't want to trigger any Dodgers fans in the comments, but the Dodgers are a large market team, which means that they're like the Yankees or the Cowboys if we're talking about the NFL. They have fans all over the country, which is why so many people watch their games. However, they lack any real fans in LA. The people in LA who go to the Dodgers games don't go to Dodgers games to cheer on their team and be emotionally invested in them winning. They go to the games because it's just something to do, like going to the movies or going bowling. I cannot say I've ever seen a passionate Dodgers fan in LA. At the very least, the Yankees and the Cowboys have passionate fans in their home city. When a team has no true fans, the team has no heart. The player doesn't have a real reason to fully show out and scratch and claw their way into victory. When you look at teams in smaller cities, the players feel more compelled to play their hardest because of how passionate the fans are, like in Philly or really anywhere in the Midwest. Why do you think the one World Series the Dodgers won this century happened to be when they were playing in Texas in front of no fans? Look, whether you agree with me or not, the Dodgers fan base and team doesn't have heart. And even though they're assembling a team strong enough to fight Thanos, you need heart and you need a good fan base to win a World Series. Just take it from a player who won a World Series title with the 88-win Braves in 2021, Jock Peterson. He explains that there's more to a World Series team than just talent.
It's been proven that you can't buy a World Series team. It's not the team with the most talent or the best on paper team. It's always that team that just has that special bond that can overcome some struggles. You can't really teach it, you can't really buy it, but you can't really win a World Series without it.
I won't lie. Seeing these potential lineups of the 2024 Dodgers does make my mouth water. I feel bad for the pitchers in the NL West who have to face this roster. However, as soon as I got the news that Shohei was going to the Dodgers, my unfortunate reaction was, damn, he went from one team that won't win anything to another. At least he doesn't have to move. Watching Shohei Ohtani is a blessing, and it's going to be so much more exciting watching him play on a team that will actually win games in the regular season and give him more of a reason to show off. Hopefully I'm wrong, and the Dodgers are able to win a world championship with Ohtani, because I would hate to see his talents wasted for his entire career like Mike Trout. What are your thoughts, guys? Will the Dodgers win any World Series with Ohtani? Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being so patient with these videos. Have a wonderful day. Bye.